Hello everyone, this is Juanku with an update to the map making board. This is a tool I made to help me manage maps for role-playing games. It works using tiles, which you can spawn using these buttons here. And today I'll show you the newest updates, including the export button and an import button later. While using this map, a map I created with a lot of inspiration from a fan-made scenario for Mansions of Madness. And this map is not currently using the board. And instead, it's using these memory bags, which I set up using this position so I could spawn and despawn everything at will. But while using them, I noticed I was having a lot of trouble remembering which bug corresponds to which part. Uh, let's say like I want the players to find out a new location. I have to find the memory bug corresponding to it. It's a lot of overwork. So instead, let's use this board. So the feature of this board is that you spawn a tile. Here is room 1. You can name them using this input here, but if you forget to use them, like I always do, you can just click here and name it the boat. This will be the boat the players are using to enter the island. This very zombieful island. So when you flip them, you'll see that the name changes. Now, you'll see that a highlight appeared on the table. This board makes the small tiles correspond to a space on the table. And now to set the room up, I choose a location. You'll see that it rotates accordingly. And I'll place the tile I want to use. You can use any kind of tile, but these tiles from Mansions of Madness are perfectly sized to the board. So let's see, you'll see that a green highlight appears, but only if you place it correctly. So there. This map is using a grid that makes everything snap to the center of these squares. And if you import this board to your table, it will set up the grid using that exact here. It will change these values to 1.285. So make sure if you want to change that grid, it will change the snapping point. So maybe you won't be snapping perfectly to the sides of each of everything. But take notice of that, and let's set up this first room. Okay, so to set it up, you just click on auto setup, and everything that's inside the tile, as defined by this grid, will be added to the room. So auto setup, 4 objects saved, 4 objects that were inside the tile, counting the tile itself. And now I can just flip this, and you'll see that a board appears. And if wherever I place it on the map, if I close and open, the tile will change accordingly, and you can even rotate it even to rotations other than 180, and everything retain its position. Now let's return it to the place where I wanted it, which was here. Not exactly in the middle, because I want to do something for the players here. So let's play the map. I want the players to have to cross a little bit of ocean before they get to the next tile. So the next tile will be the docks. I'll remember to use the input field, and it is the docks. And docks are here. Now, like I was saying, I want the players to have to cross these boards there to get to the docks. So now that I have the docks here, I auto set it up, and you'll see that this wasn't inside the highlighted area, so it's not actually linked. but you can link anything in the whole map to any location. So I just need to do a manual setup. Click on whatever I want to add, this, and add and lock it. I can just add it, but I want it to be locked so things don't flip around when I'm moving the heroes around the map. So now you'll see that the players start at the boat, starting tile, and they look to the north and they see the docks and the boards they have to cross to get to it. Now here I'm missing something in this tile, this door to the cabin here. This is a special door I made, so when you open it, you can hear the creaking of the door. It's linked to this sound of this sound port. Now, while this looks cool, it's a bit annoying that whenever the door despawns, it also plays the sound, because the only thing I can find to link the noise is changing the state, and that's linked to the destruction. So okay. Okay, so I just, to add this door, I can do an auto setup, but I need to be on the correct tile. The last one I clicked was the dock, so if I do an auto setup, nothing will happen because the door is over here on the boat. I click on the boat and do auto setup. Now it added 5 objects, so one more, which is the door. Let's try it. Like I said, the door sounds when I despawn a room, because it despawned the door. And another annoying thing is that if you change the state, it's like a new object. So if I despawn the room, this will remain. But whatever, I can just unflip and unflip it, and then it's gone. Now next is this tile. I'll place it here, and I'm having trouble because of this one there. Oops. Okay, so this is a 2x2. I click it here and there and see that the highlight matches. It's not matching because this tile is a bit over this one. So what happens when you have this trouble? You can just find the correct position, and if you're having trouble because this is remembering that it's a bit wobbly, one tip is that you can do a minus button. If it's still annoying, you can do 2 minus button. Oh, I see. It's not that it's getting stuck on this one. It's actually this boat that while moving things around got under the tile. So now here, and like I said, if you're having trouble, I clicked twice on minus button so it will clear this part, but it wasn't actually needed. There's the 2+ button again. And actually I think by changing the scale I changed it too much, so now it doesn't perfectly align, but it's not too much, it's not that annoying. So okay, click on it, place the boat where it was supposed to go. This will be the next one. And now let's auto setup. 5 objects added, and there, it's ready. So let's set up the next one, which will be the pallet dock here. The annoying thing about setting up a map that you've already built is that you have to be careful that so everything over it doesn't go out flying like it's doing now. And this statue doesn't even wanna be standing up. I don't know why. There. No, well, whatever. I could lock it and set its position correctly, but let's say that it's a fallen statue. Alright, there. Come on, fallen statue. Really doesn't wanna sit quiet. Is this perfectly even? It looks like it, but the statue somehow decided didn't want to stand anymore there. Right, thankfully our auto setup locks everything for us, so when we lock and unlock, no more wobbly problems. Now let's do a different tile, which is an even bigger tile, the plaza, which is composed of these two. And now I noticed that I made a mistake because the docks were supposed to be connected through here. Thankfully, thanks to our amazing board, all we need to do is replace these things here, and the docks are now aligned correctly. And not so correctly apparently, and this went up. Why did I apparently it collided with the other tile while it was on the air. That's a problem you may face if you flip everything too quickly, like pa 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 pa. But finally remember its correct position here. For a moment it reset its position while being here, but don't worry, that has only happened to me this one time, so I don't think it will happen too much. So let's grab this, and I already see that one of the objects that I was trying not to drop has dropped through the tile, which was that gas light on the back. So when I drop this, some troubles will occur, right? This lamppost and actually any object that's a bit too long, like the statue, will cause you that kind of trouble. And here I have an object that, while it was included in this tile, will cause trouble because you will place this tile and it will collide with that. So let's make sure we have everything close while we're setting up our map. There, and let's hope this aligns. Okay, perfect. Here, some things underneath apparently, or did it collide? No? No, it didn't. Okay, so this gas light goes here, and goes here, and is there anything problematic? No. Okay, so this is a 4x2 tile called the plaza. It's a good idea to name everything so you can look at the map and know what room is where at a glance. The plaza goes here. The highlight is perfect, so let's just manual auto setup. But let's remember to put a door for the sheriff's room, which will be a sub room. Another feature I will show you in a moment. So let's auto setup, and everything disappears. Okay, so what about the sheriff's room? It's called the sheriff's office. Sheriff's office. This is a long name for just a little tile. So let's see how it turns out. Oh, it turned out okay. Okay. So this tile will be in here. See, the highlight appeared here, and it's over it's over a corner of the plaza. Now I could use some kind of tile here, but since the picture that's showing is actually this one, I'll just leave it like it is and place the sheriff. Let's hide this door that it's not in the adventure there, and add a door to the basement. So this is our sub room, which can have any number of objects. I don't know if the door will be auto included because it's right on the edge. And something else that can be included actually, it's this tile here, because its center is around the edge. So to make sure that never happens, I'll do what I should have been doing and close this tile. And now the objects that will be added will be only these ones, and maybe not even the door. And you don't need to worry about grabbing this tile, and not only because its center is here, but because the auto setup never picks up any of these tiles. So auto setup, and I made a mistake. Can you guess the mistake? The last one I clicked was the plaza. So everything I added here was added to the plaza. And if I open the plaza and then close it, the sheriff and everything inside will go to the plaza because I auto set it up there. So to undo this mistake, I can do a manual setup and click on everything that I want to remove from the plaza. The sheriff, this, and this, and click on remove. Now the 4 objects were removed, and if I close the plaza, you'll see that the subtitle is clear. And now I actually link them to the sheriff's office by doing an auto setup and close it, and the door remains because it was over the edge. But again, with the manual setup, you can just click on it and unlock it. That was the sheriff's office. So now let's open and close it, and the door disappears. So the heroes arrive on the boat. They look to the north. They enter this place here and they see the plaza and the sheriff's door. They knock on it. Eventually they get let in, and here's the sheriff. Cool stuff. Next, let's do this one, which has a lot of minis, and click on it. I should have let this one close because it may have had trouble with this door, but apparently it didn't. And everything seems fine here. Maybe a bit of trouble here with the bed and the door. Wait, supposed to go this way. It hides the non-actual door. Let's give a little bit more dynamism to these characters by flipping them. Oh, and here was I actually had this like this, so the players could. It was the door to the cell. So something like that. If you're having trouble because these are snapping to the grid, you can just toggle and unclick grid, and now you have perfect positioning for it, like this one has. This was actually the window to the cell room, so I'll lock it. Use lock, and then I will control click on it. It will allow me to, because it's supposed to go on above, but it's hard to click on something and everything went away. Well, that's annoying. And it was so nicely placed too. Ah, I see, this one is not snapping to the grid. Why? You should snap to the grid, but you aren't. Why? Ah, no, it's actually, it is snapping to the grid, but when I place it here, I'm having the trouble I was telling you about. There, it's colliding with the door, so I should have this one closed. Close, and now and it's actually colliding with this thing I locked as well. So let's move you to the side, and now we can place the tile here, there. I'm sorry, minis, you've been kicking around a lot. And this was the door to the cell. Is here. There. And this one was here. There. Now I can return this to its correct position, which was a window. Something like that. And now we can do an auto setup for the, let's call it the basement. A 2x2 tile located here. Auto setup. Closed. And all the minis that we were having so much trouble with are now perfectly locked in place, so you can unlock them if you want to move them. So that's mostly it. Finally, I'll show you a hack if you need a more personalization for your maps. And you'll see that here I have a very long track. Let's say I want the whole track to be a one single room. The longest tile I've provided you is the 6 by 1 one, but the 6 by 1 it's 2, 2, 2, and that's it. So only 3 tracks, but I want one long one that's all the way over here. So this is actually a 10 by 1 one. 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So to hack this, let's place them here to the right of the basement, to the left of the basement. So I want it to go all the way here. And this is a 5 by 1, right? So how do I hack this? First, I'll change its scale. Instead of being 5 by 1, I come to this tile and I'll tell it to be the scale X is the one that goes from the R to the 8. So I'll double this one to 4 to 4, and you'll see that this is now a 10 by 10 length tile. But you'll see that the highlight that appears here is actually still 5 by 1. Why? Because the placing tile, this one, hasn't been updated as well. So let's change its scale X. So now it's 12.8. And now you have this very long room and this very long placement tile. There. Let's grab all this track here to here. If I flip them around, all right. One more, one less there. That seems about right, and I'll auto setup. I'm guessing the wall wasn't picked up. Now I want to. This is because I had it selected. So now let's auto setup again to make sure. And now if I flip it, all right, everything went inside except for the wall because it wasn't added. Now let's do a manual setup and click on the rubber wall. I'll unlock it, and there. If you get to the tracks, you can just click here and everything appears correctly. So that's the map link tool. Now I'll show you the new feature, which is the export button. What this does is grab all your rooms. I haven't made it so everything is closed, so you have to for now you have to manually close everything before you export, and you export it. Everything gets into this bag. And to get it into your game, you just need to bring both things, the board and the bag, and there's an import button. So now let's copy these two objects, go to a game, and let's open a table. Let's use a very popular table, the Kraken table. Is load. The tile can be facing anywhere, so I can place it here or I can place it on the other side. If I place it here, I'm gonna have to rotate it, I think. Let's see. I didn't pick up the table, the board. That's annoying. But I think if I just come here and I manually bring the table, the board I mean, expand the map board here. There, correcting my mistake. You'll see that it was facing that way. So let's unlock it and let's place it here. Now make sure that the board is even, because if it's wobbly, then the positioning won't work as well, I think. See that this has a bit of a rotation. So let's place it evenly, and now it has a rotation over here because this there. I think now it's okay. Let's bring it a bit closer here so the buttons don't collide, I mean. And well, if I bring this here and I click import, everything is being set up. Wait while it's going, and there, our map that we painstakingly created, it's ready to be used. Here, click here, and you place your heroes here, and you go exploring the town one by one. The plaza, the sheriff's office. The sound won't work here because I didn't bring the soundboard as well, so if I open, nothing happens. And the tracks. There it is. That's the map making board, and like always, the cool thing about this. Oops, I forgot to lock the board. So let's do that now. Toggles lock. Let's make sure. No, why aren't you locking? Lock. There. Alright. Let's make sure everything is where it should be. This resets their position when they snap either to the table or to another tile, like in the case of the sheriff's office. And that's why when I was flipping stuff around and they collided on the air, some things appeared over others. But the cool thing, like I was saying, is that you can reshape your dungeon any way you want. So if I want the plaza at the end of diagonal railways which come from a basement, and the dogs are diagonal here as well, can start the adventure here at the basement. They cross this one, they find the tracks. Oh well, since I opened this door, the same trouble happened that I was telling you about. If don't close a room if a door has been opened before closing the door, or it will remain. Then again, I can just close everything, and since this one are linked to one of the rooms, I'm not sure which one, they should despawn if I do that. Come on. Probably the plaza door? No, what? You're the sheriff's office door. There. Went to its rightful place. So now that we have the map like we wanted it to, without any annoying doors around, I can say that the heroes entered the basement, they cross this place, they go into the highway, the railway, and they arrive to the plaza, which has these dogs to the side, and the sheriff's office will collide here, but if we place it, the sheriff's is right on the tracks. So that's it. That's the map making board. I don't think it's missing any important features. And something else about it, well, all of these little rooms you're seeing here are the memory packs that it's using, except they don't have buttons. The buttons are linked to the board here. And these two tiles are needed because they are the base tiles from which the small tiles and the big tiles are constructed. So when you export, they are included on the back, and when you import, they appear here. And that's everything, I think. What I'm working on next is making it so the DM notes that you have in each room, when you open them, can appear here maybe. That's an idea I have. So, for example, you enter the highway, and if you have objects with notes in there, they will tell you this object has something. Oh, this object, you should read this to the players, etc. Let me know what features you would like, and I'll try to include them in the board. Thank you very much for watching, and see you around.